What's happening, everybody? Justin Czar and my buddy PJ Reilly here for our annual Best of the ATA show. Is that what we should call this?
Best of the ATA, I think so.
The products that we found most interesting for a variety of different reasons. So Todd is not here this year to partake.
Poor Todd.
Todd brings bad products anyways, PJ, so we're not really missing anything.
He does.
But Todd is at home sick with some sort of illness. And he's sending everybody pictures of himself in his underwear on the couch, which I think is a little weird, but whatever. I thought he just sent that to me. I found out he sent it to everybody.
He sent it to me, and it was at like 6:30 this morning. What's he doing awake if he's sick like that?
He's Todd. He's always awake. So, Todd, we hope you feel better.
Yes, sir.
We do miss you, but the show must go on, as they say.
It must go on.
So PJ and I each have 3 products that we're going to showcase today.
Yes.
Who's going first, me or you?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, yeah, baby!
Scissors.
I win! All right, sweet. So, all right, first things first.
Okay.
We're going to go. I'm wearing somebody else's binocular harness, which is like wearing somebody else's underwear. I feel like it's got all of his gear in it, his release. It makes me feel a little weird, so we're going to get this out of the way and I can take it over. So, this is a product made by Jacked Gear. Okay. Jacked Gear, you may remember, made the bow sling that's got the magnets in it. So you don't have to take it off of your bow. You can just kind of stick it to the riser, right, and shoot. So they came out with a whole suite of products this year that, so if you know the tethered hiss strap that goes around the tree and kind of hangs down and it's got like a daisy chain on it and you can hang stuff from it, right? They have a similar product, but what they did was they came out with a bunch of accessories for that strap. One of them is like a quiver piece that hangs your quiver on. The thing that I like the most, and the reason that I'm wearing his binocular harness, is they came out with this magnetic closure right here, right? So you've got this piece, which is a magnet right here. The cool thing about this is they give you a couple different attachments where you can put this anywhere. You can put it on a backpack, you can put it on that strap, you can put it anywhere, right? Right. And then the other piece is a metal piece that's held on with adhesive to whatever you want to stick to it. It could be a rangefinder. They've got one over there for your, they've got it on a phone, a cell phone, right? So, and then what it does is it comes with this bungee cord. Yep. Now he cut this one down. It comes with a longer cord. You can cut it to whatever length you want. I'm going to set this down so you guys can see this. So see how it's got like a little Prusik knot with this little thing? So you can actually slide this up and down depending on how long you need this cord to be. Yeah. So in his case, he's got a rangefinder hooked to it, so it just clips. He's got it a little bit higher than I would put it. Right? I'd probably put it down here somewhere, but it's a super strong magnet, so you don't have to worry about this thing. Like, it's just there, and then you pull it off when you need it, and then so you're not putting it in and out of a pouch or something like that. The phone one's pretty cool too, because especially like when I'm saddle hunting, in a lot of cases I take my bino harness off because it tends to get in the way of my bridge. So what he's got is you put it on that strap and your phone is like tethered to a strap in front of your face, which would be good for watching football games or watching Bowhunter Die on YouTube while you're hunting. Which I've been guilty of doing. You all have been guilty of doing it, even you, PJ.
I did it this year.
So this is from Jacked Gear. This piece here is going to cost you $50. All made in the USA, veteran-owned company. Great company. I think you guys should check it out. Jacked, J-A-K-T.
K-T, yes.
J-A-K-T. So I'm going to take this poor fella's harness off. I'm probably sweating in it, and I'm going to give it back to him.
You didn't move anything in his, because he's probably got everything where he knows exactly where it is.
I played with his release a little bit, which again, I feel a little weird about. It's like sneaking into someone's house and like playing with their stuff. So I'm going to take this off. So Jacked Gear, make sure you check it out. What do you got for us, Pete?
All right, so this was the first thing we went and checked out today. That's how excited I was about it.
I know, I've heard about this.
It is primarily probably gonna live in the target world, but they do make a black one that hunters can use. But this is the Hamskea Lynx Lock. So, stabilizer, weight system here. We've got 8-ounce, 4-ounce, 1-ounce. This is a 2-ounce end cap here, and this is a 1.5-ounce tool. But what's cool is right there, magnets to hold these things together.
So they kind of magnetize and then lock in place, so they're not going to fall off.
Now, what was cool, I thought, was the engineering of this. So, okay, I'm an idiot. So what would I do?
You said it, not me.
I would put the 2 magnets right together. Well, the guy said, if you do that, it won't be as strong as if they're offset, because, you know, it's got the little device
okay.
here to
Yeah,
lock
yeah,
it in. So they put the magnets so that they're pulling each other into that lock.
Makes sense.
As opposed to being right up against each other. So I just think that's cool that somebody would think of that, because I never would.
Because right now on most stabilizers, if you want to add weights to it, you got to pull the big screw out.
You got to do that.
Screw more of them on.
And I say the target world because there's those archers who run 38 ounces off. How many rods do they have to stack in there? I have no idea.
How many ounces in a pound, PJ?
16.
16.
So,
good, correct. I'm proud of you.
2 and something pounds in there. But then you got to have all those rods that you got to find, you got to buy them, you got to put them in there to add all that weight. This one has no rods. Easy. And now, like, let's say you're on the line and you're like, oh man, something's just not feeling right. I want to just take 1 ounce off.
Usually, I don't think that's going to help me.
Take that off there.
Something's not right. It's in here.
So, and it's got this one here I mentioned was a tool. If you know, some of them, the magnets are really sticking, this helps you crank them to take them off.
Interesting.
So they even thought about that for the end cap. But like I said, hunters, yes, they can use them, but it's primarily going to live in the target world.
So Hamskea, they should be smart and license this technology to all the other stabilizer companies.
Exactly.
That's what I would do.
They all have to.
That's where the money's at. The mailbox money, licensing, folks, licensing. PJ, it's a cool product. And does it get held onto the bow that way too?
So,
or no? Or is this just like a display?
This is the display. So this can be used on any stabilizer, I should mention. They just have one here, so it doesn't have to be this stabilizer.
Oh, really?
And there are different thread sizes for your stabilizer, so you have to have different weights. Doesn't matter. This piece here is what connects on to any stabilizer, and then you use their weights.
They were thinking over there.
So it doesn't matter what bar you got, you know, dead center, gold, bee stinger, whatever. You can use it, get their attachment and their weights.
That's my problem. I don't have enough weight.
Lynx lock from Hamskea.
I need more weight on my arrows. Speaking of my bow.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk arrows. We're gonna switch gears. We're gonna go from bow to arrows.
Yes.
So this is something that I don't think is revolutionary, right? We've seen similar products in the past. We haven't seen them from a lot of the OEMs like Easton. So Easton came out with their match grade Pro Shop arrows, which I'm sure you guys are going to sell a lot of. You can't get them online. You can only get them at Easton dealers. And standard, so this is the 4mm, so the 166 arrow. So this is a part of an FMJ. And with the 4mm arrows, you can't use like a hit insert. It's too narrow, right? So traditionally what they've had for their components is like a half out. And the knock on half outs is that they're just not the strongest component in the world. Over time, they tend to develop wobbles. You've seen them where they crack out the side of the arrow on a certain hit. So what they did was they came out with their match grade components, which is essentially a half out with a collar built into it. And then it's got, have you played with this thing? Have you felt that, PJ?
Yes,
you slid that thing in there?
Yes.
Oh, that is something else. I tell you, I could just sit and do this all day. Unfortunately, you got to glue it in there at some point. Right? So the standard 4mm arrows come with this one here, which is a 55 grain. And then they also have a 75, a 100, and a 150 for all the high FOC people of the world that want to increase total arrow weight on their 4 mils, right? So for me, I'm a 5mm guy. I'm a 204 ID arrow fan, so I shoot Axis or FMJ 5mm with a hit insert. The knock on the hit is that over time, that direct impact to the end of the arrow shaft can cause maybe a little bit of mushrooming. Every once in a while, you'll get maybe a little hairline crack in there. So what they've done is
develop... Not to mention, Justin, I can tell you from experience with our customers, people who improperly stall the hits and then their points don't go all the way in.
Guilty as charged. You got to be careful with those suckers.
Yes,
if you get them in too deep or too shallow.
Or too shallow.
It's really too shallow is the big one. If they're too deep, you can always trim a little bit of the arrow off and make it work. If they're too shallow, dude, there's nothing you can do.
You're done.
So what they've done is they've come up with these 5mm collars that slide right over, and they're like they fit like a glove.
Yeah.
They slide right over, they protect the end of the arrow, and then you screw your field point or broadhead right onto that. So these are the match grade collars. And again, not revolutionary, but it's the first time we're seeing this from Easton, specifically made for their arrows. So now I don't have to go out to a third party component to get this. I think these weigh 18 grains. Is what they weigh, I believe.
Right.
So there you go. I will have these basically impact collar on the end of my arrows, but for your 4mm dudes, these things are the ticket.
Those components are slick.
Yeah,
for sure.
like arrow components is just a hot thing. There's so many of them, and like
Absolutely.
the OEMs are all having to step up their game and make better components for their arrows, because everybody's been running out to the aftermarket to get components, and everybody finally decided we're going to just make better components for our own arrows.
For our own arrows.
And that's what we got from Easton. So pretty slick.
Awesome.
I'm going to steal a couple. Just don't tell the guys at Easton.
All right, well, I have the True Ball Ultimate Flex. So this is a thumb button release from the folks at True Ball, and there are many unique things on it, okay? First off, if you can see in there, Brandon, we've got these little divots or cutouts here, slopes in each of the finger beds. So what that does is just makes it more comfortable. It doesn't have that hard edge that some of the thumb button releases have handheld. So to do that, just feels a little more comfortable. They put in it their new head here that can extend out. There's a set screw in here. So let's say you tie a D-loop on and you're like, oh crap, I tied my D-loop too short. You can extend this head rather than cut it off and tie on a new D-loop. Or you're just out there and you're shooting and you're just on the line, you're feeling like, man, I just feel like I'm stretched too far.
This is my problem.
Stretch the head out.
This has been my problem. My stabilizer weights and the head length of my release.
Now, what is most unique about this, to me anyway, is this is a thumb button. There's no cocking mechanism on it. And so what it is True Ball has their 3 head here. They call it their try something. Tri-select, triad, trident. I can't remember the name of it.
Trident sounds right. It sounds like it could be right.
There are 3 heads here. So when it fires, it just pivots to the next one. Okay. So by removing the cocking mechanism, there's a spring that has to work in there to set this trigger. This one eliminates that spring, and it actually uses the tension of the bow is what sets that into place. And so then I have this thing super light. It's just barely touched that trigger and it goes off.
That's just what I need.
Why does somebody want that? Well, with the cocking mechanism, if you try and get that light, that spring is going to get you at some point and it's going to go off. This one, you have the sear locking against the trigger. So it can't go off, but it makes for a faster release. As soon as you pull the trigger, you're releasing that head. And so the thing
You're just kind of removing one variable from the equation.
And then the next head just spins right around and you're ready to go. So there are a lot of target archers out there. I mean, this would be great for bow hunting, but there are a lot of target archers out there who shoot puncher style, Kyle Douglas, Jimmy Lutz, and what they want is a super light trigger. Well, this, removing that spring, I think we're going to see a lot of those guys shooting this just because it's so precise and you can get it super hairy, but it's still safe.
Super hairy. That's how I like them, PJ.
So,
the only
ultimate flex.
It is the ultimate flex,
yes.
Right? That's like what people say now, like that's the ultimate flex.
So the flex has to do with the finger.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's like the term that people use.
It's got to be ultimate.
Here's my only thing.
Okay, hit me.
I believe that every thumb button should have the option to have a little keeper on there for those of us that want to hunt with it and lock it on our bow and leave it hanging.
Yep.
They all should have it.
Yep.
Otherwise, nobody that bow hunts wants to use this thing. I think it's a badass release.
So you have this, though, the wrist lanyard, so you're keeping it on there.
But part of the reason that I went to a thumb button is so that I don't have a thing swinging around my wrist the whole time. I got to play on my phone, dude.
You can play on your phone, you just let this flop down.
Yeah, it just needs the little keeper. Just
See,
give me the
keeper,
option.
The target archer doesn't want the keeper.
So you need an option to remove it somehow. Somebody's got to figure out a way to have a little
Put it
keeper
in
that
there.
can be removed, or it can be
I
locked
wonder-
down and then put up when you want it.
So I don't think that would work with their spinning head.
There's got to be a way, PJ. We put a man on the moon, allegedly. There's got to be a way.
Gotcha.
Have you watched Oppenheimer? If we get those guys working on it, they would figure
They'll
it out.
figure it out.
They would figure it out. All right.
What is this thing? This is like.
What do you mean, what is this
Thi-
thing?
I mean,
It's
I know what it
it's
is,
the
but
talk
look
of the
at it.
town. It's the talk of the town.
It looks like a coffee maker.
This
or
is the
something.
revolver. It makes coffee and takes trail camera pictures. This is the revolver, and there's also a revolver pro. In fact, I don't know. This could be the pro. I don't really know.
Does
You
it
can't-
take 360 images?
It does. It takes 360-degree images. So it's a 360-degree trail camera from Stealth Cam, all new for this year. Obviously cellular.
Yep.
It's pretty cool, right? So you have 6 detection zones, 3 on the
Okay.
front, 3 in the back.
Okay.
You can program this thing a multitude of ways. You can set it up to just be a regular trail camera. 1 detection zone, lens facing forward, that's it.
Yeah.
You can set it up to where when it detects motion, it takes the detected zone plus 1 zone on either side.
Okay.
So now you got 180 degrees.
Yep.
Or you can set it up to take 360 degrees. Or I think 270 is an option as well. Right? So you have your available options to how you want to set this thing up. So if you have it like, let's say close to a tree, you don't want
Yeah.
the 360, but maybe you want the 180 all the way in front of it.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
way when this thing goes off, when it's in your food plot, and there's a deer over there or
Yeah.
a deer over there, like you're never missing anything. And the way that it works is inside of here, there's the lens right there.
see it.
That lens silently, most importantly,
Silently.
moves in there. So picture, 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 picture. It
Does
also
it
does
mount
videos.
on the bottom?
It mounts on the bottom.
So you can put that in the middle of the field.
That's probably the
Boom, boom,
best
boom, boom, boom,
use
boom.
for it, is to put it in the middle of a field or a
Yeah.
food plot somewhere on a post, right? And then it's detecting
Wherever.
motion anywhere around it.
Yeah,
so a lot of
yeah.
times guys have put posts out there with the camera facing either direction.
Right.
You don't have to do that anymore.
Just do that.
Revolver, got you covered,
Nice.
right? So the Revolver Pro does 1080 video with
Oh,
audio.
gotcha.
The Pro, or the regular does 1080, the Pro does 1440, so it gives you a little bit better resolution. It has 16 batteries in this bad boy.
Oh, yeah.
So you have 2
Yikes.
trays with 8 batteries each. It also accepts an external battery. So you've got a little slot on the side. You can plug an external battery pack into it.
So I can put that out there in a field in Pennsylvania to get my 800,000 pictures of raccoons and 2 pictures of deer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect.
Pretty much.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. No, that's
it'll
pretty.
take-
That's pretty slick.
and it's got the dual SIM technology, so it'll AT&T and Verizon. It'll do either one. It'll auto detect the network.
On a 360, what does your image look like on a screen? Is it one that you toggle around to?
I don't think it pieces it together. I think it takes separate images. I could
Oh,
be wrong.
separate images.
I should
Okay,
verify
gotcha.
that. I think it just takes 6 images.
I gotcha.
I don't think it pieces it together, but it might. I
Gotcha.
should ask. We should get clarification on that from the team over at GSM. But yeah, this thing's
Nice.
pretty sweet. And dude, what do you think this is going to cost, BJ? If you had to say like,
If I had to
hey,
say-
what is this thing going to cost?
If I had to say, I'd say $400.
$199.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
$199 is MSRP. You'll probably find it for less than that, but you didn't hear it
Yeah.
from me. But that's MSRP, $199
That's
on
pretty
this
good.
bad boy. Stealth Cam also has 2 new Max series trail cameras coming out that also have gone to 16 batteries inside instead of
Okay.
8. And they're also going to be producing rechargeable lithium-ion battery packs that you can use in the camera. So you could have 2 of them, let's say, and when one dies, you just swap it out with the next
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
So you don't have to, like with the price of lithium batteries nowadays, it's
Crazy.
easier to just buy the battery packs.
For
this
sure.
this one here will not be compatible with the battery packs, at least not yet.
Yeah.
But the other new cell cams will.
Will be.
So all the cell cams are going to 16 batteries.
Hmm.
Command Pro app, legendary.
That's pretty sweet.
All right, Brando. Or Brando's over there.
Okay.
Last one.
Let me
Pete.
let me
What do you
nest
got?
these together properly here. This is the Trophy Line Hyperlight. So I'm going to start out with them nested together
They're super quiet.
the way they go. Well, like I said, by the time you're doing this, your deer should be dead. So who cares
Well, yeah, I
what
mean,
noise it makes
I
then.
kill one every time I go out.
But this
That
is
is sweet.
4 sticks, and that is your thickness there. You don't have to, you don't have to have these attached. I put it on there so we can demonstrate.
So we can
But
see.
they're super easy to put on.
Oh, I get it now.
So anyway, we'll get to that in a second. But this is the Trophy Line Hyperlight. set of sticks here. They're made of a substance. I guess that's it. Called magnite.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is
they just
either.
made it up?
But it is lighter than aluminum, stronger than aluminum. So this whole set here of 4 sticks weighs 4.5 pounds.
That's pretty impressive. Like that, those are light. I'm not gonna
And
lie.
tiny.
They nest in there real nice.
They nest in there.
Little loud. We're gonna have to stealth strip these suckers.
So let's pull this bottom one off there. And yeah, so this is that like steel infused cord here.
Steel. Yep.
Am steel. So, but this is all you have to do to connect it. So, you know, I carry it like that. I come out with my am steel, slide that through, boom. I'm ready to go. On this side, it's connected to a Prusik knot. So it's gonna slide, you know, just like your Prusik knot would. This way. This is my pull cord.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah, you had it. You had it.
This one. That's going this way. This is my line.
Like there. Yeah.
So this is how I'm going to tighten it down,
Yeah.
or I'm going to loosen it going this way. And then once you're done there, you know, they said just do a half hitch. It won't pull because it is Prusik knot.
Yeah, it's not
you
going
know,
anywhere.
Typical Prusik, but you can tie this up
You
there.
just
But
wrench
again,
on a little bit. Like, it ain't going nowhere.
It ain't
and then
going
you're
nowhere.
Good. And then that's all you
so
need.
I am, you know,
They look like about
dipping-
what, 20 inches or so?
so these are 18 to top here. You know, they're built, if you want to run 8ers, obviously, you
Yeah.
got that down there.
And they're made in the USA.
made in the
Very
USA.
important stuff.
I am, you know, as you know, we've talked about this. I'm putting my toe into the waters
You're putting your little toe in the saddle.
of being a saddle bro.
We call ourselves saddle boys.
Saddle boys. I'm easing into it, but hey,
You would be
something
a
like
saddle
this-
man, PJ.
A saddle man. Hyperlight, super light.
They
Now,
are pretty dope.
$449 for a 4-pack. You know, that's what
all
you're
right.
getting to get that lightweight. They have a platform too, and the platform.
Is it also made of magnite?
It is. Platform and sticks together, 6.5 pounds.
That's why
for
we do
both.
saddles, because we want lightweight. So there you go. This is Trophy Line, you said?
Trophy line.
Trophy Line makes these.
Trophy
Trophy
line
Line.
makes these.
Hyper lights.
Yeah.
So that's what we got for today. That's our 6 products. We'll be back tomorrow with 6 more products, hopefully.
6 more products.
6 more
Yeah.
amazing products. If you guys out there have seen or heard anything that you think I should be covering that PJ shouldn't, send me a message. Like, hey, Czar, I heard there was this cool XYZ thing out there, and I will
I've got
go.
3 more already for tomorrow. We're not even there yet.
Come on, PJ, you're killing me. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check back tomorrow. We'll have 6 more great products coming at you from St. Louis, the barbecue capital of the Midwest. Is that fair to say?
It's pretty good.
We had some barbecue last night. It
Yeah.
was pretty good. Did you have any barbecue yet?
I have not had barbecue. We went to the barbecue place. The line was out the door, so we went somewhere else
Like for lunch or dinner?
for lunch.
We went out for dinner last night. It was good.
I had a good steak last night.
Ooh.
And you know what I discovered? Here, it's not a New York strip steak, it's a Kansas City strip steak.
What's the difference?
Nothing.
Did they explain it?
The name.
They just don't like New York?
They don't like New York.
And they
Kansas
prefer
City.
Kansas City?
Yes.
I've never been to New York. I've been to Kansas City. It's probably better than New York.
It is definitely better than New York.
Yeah, fair enough. Kansas City Strip, we're out. See you tomorrow.